George, let's talk about knee sway and hip sway. You know, those are two of the biggest mistakes I see through amateurs and even young players.
Absolutely.
From your perspective, from a medical perspective, what causes that?
So when you have that, one of the main things that I see is somebody's inability to rotate around the hip.
Gotcha.
So it could be from a muscle or joint perspective, but once we've cleared some things, we move on to the system and try to just get that system to open up around the hip. So one thing, we're going to use the Rotex here. Corey's going to hop on. We're going to look at his trail side.
Okay.
So for this one thing we could do from the very beginning is he's just using his right leg and trying to turn or internally rotate his hip. He's going to hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, and then he's going to relax. Yes, you're probably going to have a little cramping.
Right.
Should be in the outside of this hip. And here we're just focusing on the trail hip here.
Now, when I do this, I'm not wanting to rotate.
Correct. You're going to watch. So if you see your player's pelvis kind of shift or go back like this, you want to keep your hips as still as you can as you turn in. So he's going to do about 5 to 10 reps of this, holding it for, again, 3 to 5 seconds. And then after this, he's going to go back to neutral. He's going to rotate his torso as far as he can towards me.
Am I rotating hips as well?
Nope.
Okay,
just
torso.
Just torso.
Okay.
Then once he gets to his end of range, he's going to go in with his hip again. Should feel a little bit more intensity.
Yep.
Hold it, same thing, 3 to 5 seconds. Then you're going to relax here. Then you're going to rotate more towards me.
Just upper.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then you're coming in again, holding 3 to 5 seconds, relax, and then go back to the start. Okay. So this is something that Corey sees these flaws. We come over here, we get a little activation in that hip, open up the hip, allow the player not only to improve the rotation on that side, so we get less knee sway, less things moving down the chain, and then it also gives the player a familiarity of what it feels like to load and rotate into that side instead of sway.
Well, I think that's one of the biggest things with the players I work with is they don't really understand the feeling of what it, you know, when you say you load into that side, they don't really know what that feels like.
Yeah, yeah.
And this thing gives you obviously some really good feedback because I'm sweating. So this gives you some pretty good feedback on what that actually feels like into that right glute for sure.
Absolutely. So whether you're in the gym, you have a plan to work on opening up a rotation around the hips, or if you're practicing in the facility that has something like this or similar, ideally this would be, we love this because of the way it's inclined inward and allows you to kind of post up without shifting any more weight out than is needed. So put this in your practice routine when you're doing drills, trying to make a change this winter.